Hi everyone, it's me. Welcome back to my channel and a look at some history today. We're looking at the bibliography of the singer Taylor Swift. She was born on December 1989 in the United States and started writing songs when she was very young. And her first album, Taylor Swift, was released when she was just 17 years old. She has gone on to release several more albums since then and sell over 100 million copies worldwide, making her one of the best-selling music artists of all time. In addition to releasing these albums, she's also written several books. So, let's take a look at them today. Starting off with her first album, Taylor Swift, which came out in 2006. This is a country album that includes songs such as Tim McGraw, Teardrops on My Guitar, and Our Song. And this album went on to sell over 7 million copies in the United States alone. She followed this up with her second album, Fearless, in 2008, and this one included songs such as Love Story, You Belong With Me, and White Horse. This album went on to become the best-selling album of the 2000s in the US and won Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards. In 2010, she released her third album, Speak Now, and this was the first album that she wrote all of the songs for herself. Some of the songs on there include Mine, Back to December, and The Story of Us. And this album also went on to become one of the best-selling albums of the year. In 2012, she released her fourth album, Red, which included songs such as We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, I Knew You Were Trouble, and All Too Well. And this album also went on to receive critical acclaim. Then in 2014, she released her fifth album, 1989, which was a pop album. And some of the singles on there include Shake It Off, Blank Space, and Wildest Dreams. This album was a huge success and won Album of the Year at the Grammy Awards. In 2017, she released her sixth album, Reputation, which had a darker sound to it. And some of the singles on there include Ready For It, Delicate, and Look What You Made Me Do. In 2019, she released her seventh album, Lover, which was a more light-hearted pop album. And some of the singles on there include Me, You Need to Calm Down, and Lover. In 2020, she released her eighth album, Folklore, which was a surprise release. And this was a more alternative and indie type of album. And some of the singles on there include Cardigan, The One, and Exile. In 2021, she released her ninth album, Evermore, which was another surprise release and was more of the same genre as Folklore. And some of the songs on there include Willow, Champagne Problems, and Gold Rush. She also released an album in 2022 called Midnights. And this was a pop album with some synth elements to it. And some of the singles on there include Anti-Hero, Lavender Haze, and Snow on the Beach. Now, she's got some more albums. She's got a re-recording of her first album called Fearless, which came out in 2021. And she has also got a re-recording of her second album called Red Erased, which came out in 2021. So those are all of her studio albums. However, she's also released several other things. So, we're going to move on to those now. So first up is her EPs, and these include the Taylor Swift Holiday Collection, which was released in 2007 and only came with two bonus tracks, called Christmas Must Be Something More and Santa Claus Is Coming to Town. She also released an EP called Beautiful Eyes in 2008. This was only released in Japan and included 3 different versions of the song Beautiful Eyes. Then she also released an EP called The Best Erased, and this came out in 2021 and included 5 different songs. 2 of them were brand new songs called If This Was a Movie and Mr. Perfectly Fine. 3 of the songs were songs that had been recorded during the sessions for the original Red album. These are the songs Nothing New, Better Man, and All Too Well. Now, she has also got an EP called Live from Paris, which was released in 2009 and includes a few live versions of songs from her first 3 albums. Moving on to box sets and video albums, she has got the Speak Now World Tour Live, which came out in 2011 and includes a CD and DVD of the concert tour along with 2 extra DVDs with behind-the-scenes footage. Then she has the Red Erased box, which came out in 2021, and this is a limited edition box set that comes with a CD of the album along with a DVD of the music videos, and for different vinyl records. Now moving on to singles. Her first single that she released was Tim McGraw, which came out in 2006. Then she followed this up with Teardrops on My Guitar in 2007. Both of these singles reached number 6 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. Then she released Our Song in 2008, which went on to reach No. 1 on that same chart. Then she had a single called You Belong With Me in 2009, which reached No. 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she had a single called Mine in 2010, which reached No. 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then in 2011, she released the single We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, which reached No. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then in 2012, she released the single 22, which reached No. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Shake It Off in 2014, which also reached No. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Blank Space in 2014, which peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Wildest Dreams in 2015, which peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Out of the Woods in 2015, which peaked at No. 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single New Romantics in 2016, which peaked at no. 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Endgame in 2017, which peaked at no. 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Me in 2019, which peaked at no. 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single You Need to Calm Down in 2019, which peaked at no. 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Cardigan in 2020, which reached no. 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Willow in 2020, which peaked at no. 8 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Lavender Haze in 2022, which peaked at no. 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then she released the single Anti-Hero in 2022, which also reached no. 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Moving on to promotional singles, she has got the single Today Was a Fairy Tale, which was released in 2010 and was featured in the movie Valentine's Day. Then she has the single Safe and Sound, which was released in 2012 and was featured in the movie The Hunger Games. Then she has got the single Eyes Open, which was released in 2013 and was also featured in The Hunger Games. Then she has got a single called Half of My Heart, which was released in 2011 and was a duet with John Mayer. Then she has got a single called Bad Blood, which was released in 2014 and was a featured duet with Kendrick Lamar. Then she has a single called American Oxygen, which was released in 2015, and Endgame, which was a featured duet with Ed Sheeran and Future, released in 2017. Now we'll move on to soundtracks. She has got several songs that have been included on various soundtracks, including Today Was a Fairy Tale, which was on the Valentine's Day soundtrack. Then she has the song Safe and Sound, which was on the Hunger Games soundtrack. Then she has the song Eyes Open, which was on the Catching Fire soundtrack. Then she has the song I Almost Do, which was on the One Chance soundtrack. Then she has the song Ronin, which was on the movie soundtrack of the movie The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 1. Then she has a song called Sweeter Than Fiction, which was on the One Last First Kiss soundtrack. Then she has the song Christmas Must Be Something More, which was on the Hannah Montana movie soundtrack. Then she has the song Highway Don't Care, which was a duet with Tim McGraw and Keith Urban, which was on the 40 to soundtrack. And then she also has the song Can't Keep a Good Man Down, which was on the soundtrack Empire Records. Now, moving on to other things that she's released, she's also got a few books to her name. She's got the book, a collection of Taylor Swift's most beloved poems, stories, and other writings, which came out in 2012 and contains a bunch of poems and stories written by Taylor Swift. Then she has the book The Lucky One, a novel based on the life of Taylor Swift, which came out in 2012, and this was a novel based on her life and career. Now, if you want to learn more about Taylor Swift, I highly recommend checking out her official website or her social media pages. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, so you can learn about more celebrities' bibliographies in the future. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.